Suzuki's GSR-750 has a new name and some updates for 2017. It's now called the GSX-S750, making it officially the smaller sibling of the GSX-S1000. It looks more like a GSX-S1000 too, thanks to restyled bodywork and a new belly pan. There are chassis changes, the wheelbase is 5mm longer thanks to a new swing arm, and the suspension, which is adjustable for preload, has revised settings at both ends. The front brake has been upgraded with 4-pot radial mounted Nissin calipers replacing 2-pot Takiko sliding ones, and it's also got new wavy front discs. It's got ABS as standard and traction control with 3 modes plus off. Actually, although the modes are in a traction control menu on the dash, they alter throttle response as well as the traction control intervention level, so they're effectively riding modes, and changing between them is done with up-down buttons on the left bar. The dash has come straight from the GSX-S1000, an all-digital LED unit replacing the slightly dated looking analog tacho of the GSR-750. Some complain the GSR lacked fizz because it makes about 30 horsepower less than the 2005 GSX-R750 it took its engine from. While we get some back in 2017, with power up from 106 horsepower to 114. Peak torque is slightly up too, from 59 pounds-foot to 59.7, and Suzuki has done this while making the engine compliant with the latest Euro 4 emission limits. And the rear sprocket has been increased in size from 42 to 43 teeth for more aggressive acceleration. A lack of fizz isn't a complaint I'd make after riding the bike in Spain at the launch. It's got plenty upwards of about 5,000 or 6,000 RPM. It's a bike that's easy to ride well, with much smoother initial throttle response than the jerky GSX-S1000. The 750 makes it easier to feed in a little bit of throttle and maintain a constant level of torque through a corner, letting you focus on your line.
Suzuki are calling this the Apex Predator. It's a bit cheesy. They say that means that it's not the top Predator, which is what Apex Predator actually means, but that it owns every apex. There wasn't really that much of a chance to put that hypothesis to the test today because it was so wet. But it is agile.
It chucked it down on the launch ride, limiting opportunities to test that claim. Landslides had caused huge boulders and mud to end up in the road in places, but the tyres did really well under the conditions, and as confidence in them grew, the whole group of riders seemed to steadily raise the pace.
It's got Bridgestone Battlax S21 tyres, which are developed for this machine. They did offer quite a good level of grip. I think I saw about maybe 1 square metre of dry road during the whole day.
It was an opportunity at last to push a bit harder and brake a bit later. Those radial mounted calipers, they may not have quite the power or quite the bite of Brembo monoblocks, but they are powerful and nicely progressive. And I suppose the GSX-S did start to feel like an Apex Predator, for want of a better expression. It's small and agile, but also stable, with a sense of cornering precision and poise from the suspension. The riding position is slightly more prone than typical of naked bikes, so it gives it a kind of committed feel. Some of its poise may be courtesy of that smooth, gradual build of low-down torque, which requires less throttle precision than a litre naked bike. As the road opens up, you can either wait for that rush of power higher up or change down if you're in a real hurry. Some riders may enjoy changing gears to chase the power. There's definitely something to be said for it, but I think as many may disagree, which brings me to a problem with the GSX-S750, a problem called the Yamaha MT-09. The GSX-S's engine is derived from a 12-year-old sports bike, although few parts remain save the crankcases in fact. But meanwhile, Yamaha has made a completely new engine with a new engine configuration. The 3-cylinder MT-09 offers about the same peak power as the GSX-S750. It's 115 horsepower. It makes more peak torque, 64.5 pound-foot. Most importantly, it's got more immediately available torque. And I wonder if that is what people nowadays have come to expect from a naked bike. The market has changed. The question is, has Suzuki changed enough?
And that sort of brings me to a slight concern about it, I think. I just worry, the price has been confirmed at 7,599, 7,799 if you want the Phantom all black one. Now, the MT-09 is 7,799, and that's a bike, you get on it and immediately, you know, before you're out of a car park, you know it's got instantly accessible torque. And that is perhaps what this lacks a bit, being a 4-in-line. And I kind of worry slightly that the market has moved on.
The MT-09 comes with a quick shifter and more adjustable suspension. The MT-09's more aggressive torque might make it more of an experienced rider's bike, while the GSX-S750 might be a better bike to grow with. If it was even a little bit cheaper, say 7,200, I think I could buy the GSX-S750 and love it, knowing that I'd got the best naked bike I could for the money and an all-round, highly accomplished machine. But as it is, I think I'd be asking the dealer to drop the price a bit to stop me going and getting an MT-09 instead.